morning and welcome to Sport This Morning. I'm Cecilia Omogbe.
It's great to have you join us again. I'm Tayo Salam.
We'll start with the midweek games coming up today. I'm talking about Nigeria Professional Football League, and the big one everyone is looking forward to is the game between Rivers United and Kano Pillars. Last season, these two sides met, and of course, you know what happened in those two games. But then the form of Rivers United is definitely better this season.
Interesting. I mean, rescheduled matches. Other teams that were on the continent last week, we get the opportunity to play the games today. And you talked about Rivers United versus Kano Pillars. That's a star match, no doubt.
And also on the program, we'll be talking about the UEFA Champions League, the 8-goal thriller last night. I mean, I think that's the most goal that have been scored in the UEFA Champions League knockout tie first leg. So here's a historic night, and also Radame Falcao, the first player this season to actually miss 2 penalties in the UEFA Champions League.
That was a very poor penalty kick by. And you wonder why they decided and let Falcao take that penalty. It should have been Fabinho, who is very deadly from the spot. But to the game itself, Cecilia, what a match. What a match. Yesterday I said the match looked like a potentially explosive game. I didn't think it was going to be this explosive. What a game. What a match. What a match. I mean, so let's move on. We'll talk about it later on the show. Lots to talk about in this game. Let's move on now on the show. I'm still on football. It's all about Wayne Rooney. Cecilia, with every passing day, it appears his days are numbered. It appears his days are numbered as a Manchester United player. The 20-man party to France for the Europa League clash against Saint-Etienne was released yesterday, and there was no Rooney on that list. Not a surprise at all, Cecilia, because he's been injured for a while now. He just returned to training, so that's not a surprise. But the latest is Wayne Rooney has concrete offers from China, and he might just leave before the transfer window closes on Tuesday. We will watch that space and see what happens to the future of Wayne Rooney.
So you watch that space, but then before we go to Europa League and Champions League, we'll start with what's happening at home. Sunshine Stars players and of course officials, all of them had to block the government house, the road to the government house, because they feel they need their money. I mean, 6 months salaries for the players, 13 for the officials of Ondo State Football Agency, and at the end of the day, these players had to, have a whole lot of process on Tuesday, saying that they need their money.
Sad. Cecilia, 7 months. That's a long time. 6, 7. That's a long time to go without getting your salaries. And you can understand why these players, it has gotten to a stage where they've been pushed to the wall. They've had to react, and that's why they've hit the streets. That's why they've decided to go, to their employers, which is the state governments in, Ondo, and demand what is theirs. So it's a shame, really, that Cecilia will always come back to talk about this thing, just when, the season is not even 10 weeks old. And we're already talking about players, protesting and wanting their salaries. I mean, as long as we continue to have these kind of issues reoccurring every season, then whatever growth we've seen in the Nigerian Professional Football League, in recent times, relative growth, everything is just, is like a waste, because until the players' welfare,
That's the most important thing, because without the players,
there's no league. Simple as that. And you wonder what the LMC, what the Nigerian Football Federation, it appears, from all indications, that they really can't do a lot about it, because this is not new. It's not the first time we've seen this kind of situation. It's happened with Taraba a few seasons ago. It's happened last year. It's happened this year. It's going to happen next year. And you wonder, is there really nothing that they can do about this situation?
There is a lot,
but why have they not done anything about it?
We talked about the fact that when you have a club that is actually owing players, you can't, even if it's just 1 month, that club shouldn't register for next season.
But they keep registering.
That's the thing. So they can actually do it. If you have 10 clubs in Nigeria, and those 10 clubs pay their salaries and sign-on fees of the players regularly, then you have a complete league. But if you have 20, and out of 20, maybe 10 can't pay, 5 cannot pay, then they can't just have a football team. It's shameful that Sunshine Stars, we talked about 2 seasons ago,
yes.
We're actually the team to beat because of the players they have, the coaches they have. But right now, they can't even attract those big players because they are not paying salaries they're owing. But the state government, I mean, the players, the officials are actually appealing. I mean, if you check the process, it was very peaceful. They just came out to tell everyone and say, okay, he promised to pay us. He said last week we'll pay us this week and all that, but it hasn't come to be. That's the reason they came out to just appeal to the state government. So if the governor of Ondo State is listening, you can actually try as much as possible and see how you can actually pay these players, because it's difficult for you to be a player alone. You train. I mean, your family rely on you, as a breadwinner, more like it. So for 6 months, you go to training, you play football, and you don't get money at the end of the day. So that's the injury, the road trips and all that and everything. I think it's really not nice. It's not fair.
No, not good at all. Not good. I mean, so it's unacceptable. That's totally the word. And so the Nigerian Football Federation, the league management company, they have to do something about this. And Cecilia, I mean, that's why every time we talk about this situation, I always use the word hopefully, because I know what is obtainable in this part. It is difficult, and you wonder why it's that difficult. Because, like I said, there are teams, there are countries all around the world where they even have up to 20 teams. We're talking countries like Germany, countries with more resources, countries with more stability. They don't have 20 teams in the league. So why must Nigeria have 20 teams?
South Africa has 16, and the league is doing wonderfully well. We'll listen to the captain of Sunshine Stars and also the chief protocol officer of Ondo State Football Agency talking about how they actually want, not really talking about, appealing to the state governor to pay them their money.
Mr. Governor promised us that he's going to see us last week. That's last week. See, here we did not hear anything. So that's why we gather here. And I'm just coming from his office now. So I asked him